when it comes to high stakes environments, which is what I experienced last year, and highly visible environments, honestly, my gut was like, okay, I need to go and Google Black women owned designers. Obviously, there's a visibility opportunity, but there's also a knowing that they get it. Like, I'm not gonna have to, I don't have time to play Tetris. So I don't have to play Tetris because I know these women will get it and I will bet on them every time to understand it the first time versus risking it all, spending all this money on all these other clothes and it just not even being close to what I need or what feels good on me and on my body.
Welcome to Between Sisters, where we give you real talk between real sisters. Each week we use TV, movies, books, and music as a mirror for real life, because the stories we love, they always say more about us than we think. Today's guest is someone our audience is going to love. Tyler Lanier has been intentionally and consistently spotlighting Black-owned brands in her content and building her unique point of view. She's showing up on her own terms, spotlighting designers and brands she believes in, and having conversations she wants to have, and we're so glad she chose to have one of them with us. Tyler, welcome to Between Sisters.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Okay, so your looks are always making a statement, and even today you look bomb, of course. So walk us through the process of when you're getting dressed. Like, how do you decide what the look of the day is going to be?
You know, it honestly depends on the day. I feel like every day doesn't require the same level of energy or intentionality or effort, but I do think it requires mindfulness. And so, yeah, I think it just depends on what's going on. Like today, I knew I was talking to two beautiful, powerful, amazing sisters. So I was like, all right, it's giving power suit, jumpsuit for the sisters. And some days I wake up and I'm like, all right, we're putting on sweatpants and a t-shirt. So it literally just depends on what the day has to offer.
So has fashion always been something that is a passion for you, or did that develop over time?
I think fashion developed over time for me. When I was younger, I definitely admired people with the fashion sense, right? Like you look at the Gabrielle Unions and Nia Longs and like Sanaz, and you see how they show up in spaces and entertainment. And I always was attracted to that and how fashion could make a statement. But I can't say that I was raised a fashionista or anything like that. I feel like as I just acquire more knowledge and more access, because let's be real, like it can be expensive to to get dressed in some of the clothes that you want to wear. I began to understand how fashion can like really complete a look and a thought and a feeling, and that came with time and age. Yeah.
I love that. I love that it has developed for you.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
what is one fashion rule that you refuse to follow? I know for me, I don't necessarily subscribe to the no white after Labor Day thing. Like, is there
Oh yeah.
something that,
I think like there's two that come to mind. One is there's no such thing as overdressed, right? Like I feel like I would rather be a little overdressed than underdressed. And I'm an outfit repeater. I believe that you could wear that outfit as many. It's your money, it's your coins, it's your dollars. You could wear it as many times as you want to. So those are probably the two that I feel like I don't subscribe to.
I love that you said that, because our mom has always taught us it's better to be overdressed than underdressed.
Yes.
Yes.
Not that I haven't been underdressed a time or two, but I feel like I never overthink being overdressed. When you walk in a building and you realize you are severely underdressed, it does something to your confidence a little bit. So your mom was right.
I want to know because you're like Miss Put It On, like how would you describe your personal style?
I feel like it's still developing. I think that it's changed definitely as I've entered into my 30s, but I would go with maybe like elevated cultural chic because I try to be elevated. I feel like you feel how you show up, but I always am mindful. Is this relevant to me and how I feel culturally in this moment and in the spaces and the communities that I'm in? And then just put together chic. Like I'm not big on accessorizing, not because I don't want to, just because like I haven't reached that level yet. One day I'm gonna reach the accessorization level. But I do feel like chic sometimes can be simple and put together and clean, but also just culturally relevant and intentional. So yeah.
I
I
love
love
that.
that. Okay. So you have been posting videos showcasing your outfits, and the
Hmm.
response has been real. That I know that's how we found you and have started uh, supporting your journey and everything. How has that reaction surprised you, and how do you feel about it?
I feel really good because I feel like most of the clothes that I talk about are all black owned designers, black women owned designers, and they came off of a platform that I was on that had so much visibility, and so to see people loving the pieces and then learning that they're designed by black women, I feel like I am doing at least a small part of service to those women and those founders who create beautiful pieces. So it's been fun. I've never been, like I said, I've never been like a fashion girly. I just like nice dresses. And so to be able to showcase some of the things that I've acquired, but also to be able to support these small black women owned businesses in a meaningful way, I feel like it feels important. Like it feels like I'm doing something not just because it's glamorous, but because it makes a difference in somebody's life.
I love that you touched on that because it kind of leads into the next question that I have for you. Because you said you trust Black women with your body. Like,
I do.
how do you, can you share how that, what that means to you personally and how you kind of came to that?
Yeah, I feel like not all because we're not a monolith, but black women, many of us have curvier bodies and bodies that don't ergonomically make sense to like general fashion brands. And so y'all know the jeans that in the back you got the gap, or like
Yeah.
you don't know if you're a medium or a large or extra large or a small, and it could change depending on the brand and the fabrics and the textures. And it feels like you are constantly playing the hardest game of Tetris you can to find outfits and products and things that match your body, whether that's any industry, beauty industry, fashion industry, etc. And so when it comes to high stakes environments, which is what I experienced last year, and highly visible environments, honestly, my gut was like, okay, I need to go and Google black women owned designers. Obviously, there's a visibility opportunity, but there's also a knowing that they get it. Like I'm not gonna have to. I don't have time to play Tetris, so I don't have to play Tetris because I know these women will get it, and I will bet on them every time to understand it the first time, versus risking it all, spending all this money on all these other clothes, and it just not even being close to what I need or what feels good on me and on my body. So I feel like I trust black women in every other area of my life. Why not with the things that I put on my back?
Hmm. I can agree. My seamstress bill for getting the gap out of the jeans, it's insane. It's crazy.
Insane, ridiculous. Like,
So you have been talking, you just talked about curvier bodies, and
yeah,
we can, Kayla and I can definitely relate to that. And I
yeah,
know you've been highlighting a lot of textures and fabrics on your
yeah.
page. And a lot of Black owned designers have been doing incredible things with texture and fabrication. So, is
Yes.
there a fabric that you intentionally consider when choosing pieces?
I feel like the two, I wrote them down because I was like, I want to make sure that I articulate this the right way. When I looked at my wardrobe and my favorites, like from black owned designers, and the common themes of fabrics, there's two that come up. One is viscose and the other one is nylon. And I can't even pretend to know a lot about the fabrics, but one commonality is that they have stretch to them. And I think that's what we need, and that's what our bodies need because we are so curvy and we have so many curves in our body that just to try and perfect every bit of seam with like very tough fabric is going to be nearly impossible. So nylons, uh, viscose, anything stretchy, I think is really important. But also, like, I don't mind a cotton. I feel like if you're intentional with how you design the fabric, having cotton on your body also feels very beautiful and soft. And I feel like we deserve that feeling too. It just needs to be intentionally made. That's what I would say.
I love that answer. I love how you talked about the way the fabric stretches because it really does drape over your body at a certain point and hold that
Yes.
structure. So, what materials do you feel you steer clear from? You won't wear?
Ooh, You know what's funny? I don't know. I don't know. I think that it's like I don't know that I know enough about fabrics to know like materials that I'll stay away from. But I try as I've grown older. When I was younger, I used to just like hide myself. So it's like anything that's big that could just hide, the curves in your body instead of like showcasing them. And now I'm trying to go away from things that swallow me. And I'm trying to explore more with color. Like, I feel like I've gotten a lot of credit for, like, oh my God, she loves color. She wears so much color. If you were a wine back a couple years ago, I was all black and neutrals, okay? Like, I was beige queen. And I think sometimes, and maybe this is a thing for black women too, we are told, like, color is too much because our skin is already brown, so no color on the makeup, no color on the body, like just wear blacks, browns, and neutrals. I don't know who told us that lie because we look amazing in really bright and rich colors. And so I've tried to steer away from just like the muted colors going towards the bright colors. And then for fabrics, I'm trying to find fabrics that love my body versus ones that just hide it.
I know for me, I'm such a okay, black, like I'm wearing black all the time. And I just looked in my closet recently and I'm like, I have black everything. Like I need to throw
Stop!
some
We gotta
pinks
get you
in
some
there.
color.
Yeah, I'm like,
I
oh,
think
like
a
I'm
pink
getting
would look
yellow
like
now.
pinks and oranges and yellows would look so good on you.
Hmm. I know I'm looking at your yellow. I'm like, see, I need to wear something bright. I just need to go buy like a just
Yeah.
crazy
Yeah, this
shirt.
is actually a black owned designer. This is Andrea Yama. So you gotta go find the designers that get us. I'm telling
Hmm.
y'all.
I want to go back to what you said about being an outfit repeater because I
Hmm.
know I am one. Corinne is one as well. But on social media, a lot of people feel like if they've worn it on social media, they can't wear it again. So I just want to know, like, what made you embrace that? And
Yeah.
what's an outfit that you think you've repeated like the most times?
Oh, that's an easy one for me. So first to answer, one, I have ADHD. And so like I get decision fatigue if I have to decide what I'm wearing every single day. I would much rather use that brain power on many of other things. And I feel like there's certain things I just love and I feel good in. And so somebody else asked me this question and I was like, I feel like what you have to get over is the ego of it all and caring about what other people think. I've worn publicly dresses, and of course, people are gonna comment like, "Didn't she wear that?" And this other thing, yeah. And so what? It's my body, my money. Like it,
Right.
your opinion isn't going to stir my ability to feel comfortable and confident, and also to get my money's worth out of these clothes. They are expensive, so why wouldn't I wear them more than once? And like I said, in a world where like for me at least the idea of trying to figure out what I'm going to wear for everything just feels and can get overwhelming to me. So that's one. The outfit that I repeat the most, so I'm in sales and oftentimes I'm like dealing with really big high stakes negotiations and I wear the same suit 80% of the time. And I have for the past like 5 years. So I probably, especially depending on the time of the year, I probably am wearing that like once a week for 3 months straight.
I love
That's
that you
me in
talked
the office.
about
That's
that.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Men do that. Like, if you ever notice men, they wear the same uniform over and over and over again. They got the same little blazer, polo, jeans, shoes. Yet we have all this pressure to like have a new fit every day, 365 days a year. That's crazy.
That's crazy, especially in the office. I'm gonna wear this skirt over and over and over.
Amen.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I
Um,
know. For me in the office, I have a office part of my closet, and I just rotate because that decision fatigue that you were talking about, that's so real. Of every single day, I need to decide.
Right. That's unrealistic.
do you think that social media has put too much pressure on people constantly buying new clothes? I know you kind of touched on it, the
Yeah.
fatigue, but how do you feel about that? Like people just not enjoying what they already have.
For sure. I think that social media put a lot of pressure on a lot of things, to be honest, but definitely wearing clothes. And we are kind of paying the consequences of that now when you see like the rise of fast fashion, right? And how many times people do these bulk orders. And I'm no better than the average person. A vacation coming up, I'm going to the fast fashion websites just like everybody else. because you feel like there is this pressure to like drop a new photo with a new fit and get new compliments every single time. And I don't want to disregard the fact that that's a real human feeling, right? Is you want to be accepted, you want to be validated in every space that you're in, including the digital space. But what I will say is, I think what's becoming more and more popular are people who have staple styles, right? I just saw Zendaya repeated an outfit. If Zendaya can repeat an outfit on the red carpet, then you should be able to repeat an outfit on Instagram or TikTok or whatever social platform that you're on. So the pressure is definitely there, but I think that economically, right now, I know I'm leaning towards more durable, high end clothes and building like a staple wardrobe versus just trying to have a new fit off every single time.
That. And speaking of durable and high end clothing, we know you've worn Hanifa more than once.
Love
Yes.
my girl Hanifa. Yes.
So when Hanifa announced that the brand was taking a pause, what did
Yeah.
that mean to you?
I was devastated, y'all. Like, I was very intentional because Hanifa is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, black owned honestly, designer, right? She just so happens to also be a black woman, but favorite designer. Um, and again, I was on a platform last year where I had the ability to showcase like my favorite Hanifa pieces. And I was talking about it a lot and talking about her brand a lot. I actually made a joke with somebody and I said, they say the revolution won't be televised, but just in case it is, I want to be wearing Hanifa, like just in case the cameras are on. And so it broke my heart, not just because she paused, but because of the reasons why. And I think we've all been there where we just feel so overwhelmed. And maybe it's not like a personal or public attack, but it just feels like you're drowning and you just have to stop. And so I had so much empathy for her because I can only imagine what that means, right? She's a mom, she's a CEO, she's also a designer and a creative and a public figure, and she's also just a girl. And so I can, like, I felt for her, but I was also sad for myself because I'm like, oh wait, I thought we was about to get a little summer collection, like I was gonna get a little something. But it's also helped me go and discover more brands like the Nites and the Fiores and Andrea Yamas and like some of the others because I was in my little Hanifa bubble. But I was devastated. Also understood.
Yeah, yeah. And speaking of understanding what she was going through, what do you feel like now owning your limits looks like? Because to me, what
Yeah,
she is doing is owning her limits.
yeah. I think it's being in touch with yourself and being very unapologetic about your boundaries. And to me, owning limits means that you are truly going to put up boundaries that don't have negotiables, right? And I think it's hard because we want to be open and we're all young and we have so much life to live and you go through the list of what ifs, but those lists of what ifs, to me, the outcome of that is it more important than your mental health and your physical health and your emotional health and your spiritual health. And so I think it's just honoring your boundaries and standing firm in them, even if it disappoints, the whole crew of people, even if it puts up and severs ties with people that you love or that you're close to, is honoring your boundaries, not just having them. We talk about having boundaries all day long, but like, are you going to honor them when the road gets rough?
That's so important because I think a lot of times people will just name their boundaries and not honor them. So
Yeah.
yeah, I love that you said that. I love that you said that. Um, there's been a lot of discussion lately about the power of the black dollar and where we choose to spend our money. So when it comes to fashion and the brands that you wear, what do you think about when you're deciding what to support?
Yeah, I have personally what I call like an over index rule, which means that I try to over index with black owned anything in my life. So if you look around, like my air fryer is black owned. Like I just try to make sure that as I look around my space and in my closet, that I am over supporting us because I know like not even how long, how short the dollar circulates within our community, yet how much power and monetary power we have in the economy. And so with fashion, for me, that's the easiest one. I'd say, our population in America is what 13% as black people. probably like 25 to 30% of my entire wardrobe is black owned, because we are incredible innovators in the space. Like, it's not just because I want to wear a black owned designer. Like, honestly, the pieces that we design, our ideas, again, how textures feel on my body, how they fit on my body, like, only a black woman could do that, and black men as well. So for me, it's one, being intentional, over indexing. So again, 13% of us in the population. When I look around my house, do I have 13% representation in the books that I buy, and the art that I buy, and the supplies that I have around my house? But also, it's really easy in the fashion space because we do such a good job in that area.
Love that, and I love the intentionality behind all of that. We want to talk about travel really quickly. So,
Yes.
so how has travel or seeing people in different cities and countries impacted the way that you dress and your
Oh
style?
yeah. Oh my God, so much. I started traveling in my early 20s, like internationally. And one thing that I noticed was, in America, I feel like we dress and we put on clothes to fit in. And so you can look around, and most people are kind of wearing some version of the same things. But when you go to some other countries, they dress to stand out. It's like it's a personal reflection of how I'm feeling and expressing, or like other dynamics of the culture that I just think is so beautiful and so dope. And within like the black diaspora, we kind of do that too. But sometimes I feel like we feel pressured to conform, and so we become afraid of that, and we go to the blacks and the neutrals and the, and so traveling around the world, and going to places where like fashion is a staple, but seeing people put their own twist on it. Like, I love Mexico, and walking around Mexico, you see that. Walking around, different countries in Europe, you see that. Walking around South America, you see that. Even in Iceland, I was like, okay, they got their own little personal style in Iceland, and so why are we so afraid? Or maybe I shouldn't be projecting. Why am I so afraid to stand out with what I wear? Um, so yeah, travel has played a huge role in me feeling comfortable expressing myself as an individual versus just someone as a part of a broader group.
I love that, and I love that how you talked about standing out rather than fitting in, which I feel like that does happen a lot here. I know you just said you
Yeah,
didn't want to generalize, but I do think
yeah,
that does happen a lot here.
yeah.
So I want to ask you something that might be a little controversial.
Okay.
Do you feel like there's a best dressed city?
Best dressed city. Ooh, like in America? Um, this actually is gonna hurt my heart to say, because I want to say Atlanta because I love Atlanta, but it's not Atlanta. Honestly, I feel like New York. Like, I feel like New York is a fashion capital of the world. And so you can walk through New York, and I think New York is representative of what I'm describing about other countries. That, like, people dress for their own selves, right? There's some conformity. You can walk down, Wall Street, etc., and you see everybody in suits. But for the most part, when you go to different neighborhoods, you can see the neighborhood coming to life in the pieces people are wearing, and yet they're still individual people, which I think is really cool. So I think that's probably the first place that comes to mind is New York, even though I want it to be Atlanta.
I have to agree with you with New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like New York, every borough, every neighborhood
Yes,
kind of has their own vibe too. So I think that's
yes,
also what makes it very cool. Like, there's so many different vibes in one.
yes, yes, I agree with that.
For people who maybe don't know where to start, what's one styling tip that you could give?
Ooh, one styling tip that I could give. Um, I would say there's two that are coming to mind. One is, take a day and, without pressure of spending any money. So like, you're not spending any money. Go try on pieces that you would dream of. Like, go to the mall, go into the stores, go try on the pieces, go learn your body as you're trying on those pieces without the pressure of the dollar. Because sometimes you may be skipping out on a piece that like is drawing to you because you can't afford the piece, but you could find a dupe of that, right? But if you know like the fit works for you, if you know the color works for you, I think that's the best place to start. So I love a good, like, I do that with everything in my life. I'll go test drive cars. I'll go walk houses. Like, go and spend a day figuring out what you like on your body and how you like it to feel. That's the first one. And then I think the second one would be, don't put pressure on yourself to find so many pieces at once. Like, find maybe one or two things that are your staples. Like I said, my black suit that I wear when I'm like negotiating a multi-million dollar deal is the black suit that fits my body. And I think I got it from Macy's. So it was like not anything super crazy or expensive. But to find something that I love versus finding 10 different suits, I think is more important. So don't worry about expanding your wardrobe wide. Worry about finding something that feels good to you and your body and your skin for the moment that you're in.
I love that you said you can find a dupe because I know a lot of times people they get intimidated, see, yeah,
Yeah.
oh, I want to, get this, and they're seeing that $100 price tag, and they're like, you know what,
Hmm.
never
Yeah.
mind. So yeah,
But you better Google image that, reverse Google image, and see what you can find out there on Amazon or whatever. Like, yeah, I think that there's so many ways that we can look how we want to look without spending the dollars.
I also love that you talk about going and trying things on because to me that feels like a form of manifestation or like dream
Yes.
boarding or something. So
Yes,
I
I
love that.
believe in that. Go try on $1,000 dress in whatever store. Get cute. Go to the mall and walk in like you own the place and go try on the things that you want to try on. What's the worst that can happen, right? Like nothing. So go get the bags. Try on the Jimmy Choos, the lubes, and manifest what you want. But also, you may realize you don't even want it. I'll never forget the time I went to Louboutin, and I tried on a pair of shoes, and I was like, "Oh, my feet are way too big and way too wide for this. This is not comfortable for me." So I'm glad I tried them on before I went and just thought I was gonna buy some off the internet. So
Right. Okay, so we have been loving all of your content lately, from the
thank
fashion
you.
stuff, obviously, to the book stuff. We love all the black authors that you've been showcasing and all the
Yeah.
things. Is there anything on the horizon for Tyler that you're ready to share? And like, what can our listeners go find and follow and support right now?
Um, Nothing new. Right now, my whole goal is just to build a digital community, right? And I think letting the community decide how we want to expand after that. And I really want it to be rooted in things that I care about, which feel like a bit of a hodgepodge because it's like, girl, one day you're wearing a dress, the next day you're talking about a book, the next day you're doing your makeup for work. What is your lane? What's your niche? And I think I can't remember the creator who initially said this, but I feel like it's pretty popular now, which is like I am the niche. And I think that when you lean into the things that you love, you tend to find people who also love those things. Eventually, I would love to do like IRL, like in real life stuff. Like I love planning retreats. I love bringing women together. Like I love creating spaces where people can connect and learn and to develop. But nothing new that I'm launching like as of today outside of the digital communities I already have. So follow me on platforms under this woman Tyler on everything. I did get a little DJI camera though, so I might start vlogging on YouTube. We'll see.
oh,
Okay, well, so we'll have to keep a lookout for that as well. And I'm definitely going
mhm.
to be keeping a lookout for those IRL opportunities as well.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
What would you tell women who want to shop more intentionally, support Black-owned brands, and they just don't know where to start?
Google. Okay. Last year again had a high stakes situation coming up. I literally just Googled black women owned designers. And I think sometimes we overcomplicate it and we're like, wait, but I just don't know. Girl, go to Google, find you an earring, a bracelet. There's a bunch of different jewelry designers that are on there. So that's the first thing is like, don't overcomplicate it. Go on Google and just do a general search. But also, what I did was I follow people who typically wear black owned designers. So, like, any given Sunday, she wears a lot of black owned designers. Bosma St. John, she wears a lot of black owned designers. There's a stylist, her name is Germany. She styles people in a lot of black owned designers. I think Miss Kev on stage, like she usually styles, and more times than not, she's wearing a black owned designer. So I try to find people who I know lean towards designers that are more intentional, whether it's black owned or women owned, or maybe the fabrics are natural or organic, and then a quick little Google search, and you don't even gotta be that deep.
I love that. I love that. And I love all the stuff that we've been talking about today. I think that you have given us such good gems that we want to take about
Yeah.
styling
Oh,
and designers and everything like that. So we close every episode with a segment we like to call Sister Sound Off. And
okay.
so we are going to give you 30 seconds to speak your mind
Okay.
on a topic. It could be anything, something you love, a rant,
Okay.
nothing is off limits. And then
Okay.
we'll share our thoughts on it after. So I want to give you 30 seconds on the clock.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. And go.
So my sister sound off would probably be telling every woman out there to take the side quest. Take the side quest. Say yes to the crazy thing. No, it's nothing's gonna blow up. Your life is not gonna end. Everything will work out just how it's supposed to. But I think there's so many times where we hold ourselves back from the things we really want to do or we're even curious about because of fear. And I feel like more of us need to wake up with a little bit more audacity to just do what we want to do. So take the side quest.
I love
Okay.
that.
Love that.
First of all,
Yeah.
I love a side quest. Okay.
Me too, girl, clearly.
So I love that you said that, and it can be. I love that you said that because it's resonating with me right now. Because I've recently had a side quest that
Okay.
turned out to be very spiritual for me.
Okay.
I
Yes.
I was kind of thinking maybe I need to switch gears entirely on my career and
Okay.
go try something else out. And
Yeah.
I flew out to this place to have a job interview. And as soon
Okay.
as I got there, I was feeling it, I was going, and as soon as I got there, I started to feel uneasy. And I was
Mm.
like, I just don't know if this is for me. And the whole day, I was wrestling with it in my mind, wrestling with it in my mind. And I talked to my mom and my cousin. I called my mom and I was talking to my cousin, and they were kind of like, God isn't a God of confusion. So I feel like
Right.
the fact that you are so confused right now is a sign that maybe this isn't
Yes.
for you. And I know that maybe things are difficult right now and not moving in the way that you want them to move, but maybe you need to step out on faith right now. So that's what I did. I told them, listen, thank you for the opportunity, and I would have gotten the job. I think that was the crazy part. I would have gotten the job, but I was like, I
And that's that
just,
discernment kicking in. That was that discernment
Yeah.
all up in
yeah,
here, like,
yeah. And
yeah.
I was like, it's just not, I'm going to go. I flew back home. I think a week later, my whole situation had changed in what I was
Wow.
pursuing. And I was like, wow, that side quest kind of taught me that I need to be listening to my discernment, stepping out on faith, not trying to take everything into my own control. So
Yeah.
take that side
But you
quest.
got confirmation. I feel like sometimes when the side quest doesn't pan out, we're like, "Oh, I should have never have done that." But the reality is you would have never gotten the confirmation you needed for where you were. You would have always been uneasy unless you went and tested that. So that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that for you.
Thank you.
I know for me, I'm always like, do it scared, do it for the plot. I'm like, let me just step out and do it. So even last year, I just had a year of travel. My friend was like, let's go here. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to say yes to everywhere. I was traveling all year, but it was something where I just was like, I'm just going to step out on faith and just do it. Even if I'm solo traveling, I did that for the first time. And I was always so nervous
Where'd you go?
about it. I took the easy route and went somewhere
Okay.
I've been before. I went to Orlando. And I was like,
Okay.
let me just do something like to dip my toe in the water of
Yeah.
solo traveling before I do an international solo trip. Um, but it was just so, in a way, again, spiritual for me because I ended up meeting so many people who
Mm.
I'm still in contact with to this day, and everyone was so nice. I ended up literally praying with strangers. Like it just became a whole moment. So Yeah, just
I feel
stepping
like
out
it's
on
a
faith.
trick of the devil that like to instill fear in us to not say yes to those things, because
Hmm.
people always say like, oh, but what if most people are good people. Most people are not murderers or kidnappers or like gonna assault you. Most people are good, honest people. So instead of being afraid of what's in the world, I'm so glad that you went out and then you met good, decent people. I love that.
Yeah, yeah, it touched my heart. I think as women, we experience that a lot. So I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much for participating in our sister sound off.
Of course.
And we hope that your next side quest is the best side quest.
Thank
And thank you
you.
so much for joining us today and talking about fashion and black businesses and all of the things. We wish you the best on all of your journey. We are watching, we are supporting, we are
Thank
tuned
you.
in, and thank you so much for coming here and speaking to us. This was amazing for us.
I
Yes.
appreciate that. And y'all keep doing your thing. I love the platform. I love the idea of sisters coming together. I have an older sister that I love. So love to see y'all doing this and happy to come back anytime.
Thank you.